Hey y'all, it's Amy. Okay, we're getting back into what I was talking about before I went to donate platelets. That's another thing, but it just clicked. It just clicked. So at the beginning of that, the song in my head was "The hardest part of breaking up is getting back your stuff" by Together, right? The hardest part of you like on this journey is getting back yourself. Because at the end, like basically number one or part one kind of culminated in this is step one is kind of getting back to you. It is, you know, dropping all the baggage that you've carried for so long, thinking you're a burden in other people's lives, and realizing that, like, we have community for a reason. You're not a burden in somebody else's life if they choose to love you and be loved by you. They are consenting to doing life with you, to going through the hard times. Because, like, being a burden, it has this negative connotation, but, like, if you are sick and you ask your friend to come over and help you, if you're like bedbound and you're like, hey, could you just come like make me some soup and bring me some Gatorade? Yeah, for a moment you are a burden on their life, but it also opens the door for them to give you an act of love and kindness. Sometimes that's just life, okay? We we live in a very individualistic society, a very like me against the world society. And baby, that's not sustainable. We're seeing how unsustainable that is. We are a communal species. We are meant to care for each other. And I really think that's so much of what we're getting into here. So the hardest part of breaking up with how you've always seen yourself is getting back to who you actually are. So we'll go with that. Who knew a fake boy band from the early 2000s on MTV would be so inspiring in the year of our Lord 2024? So this is my newest Oracle deck. It's called Rainbow Brain Skull by Ramin Nazer. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. It could be way simpler than that, and who cares though? But I was like, you know what? Give me like a focus for part two. And I got this card. If no you out there, go out there. And I want to read from the booklet. Because like just looking at the imagery and the phrase, it's like, okay, if there is nobody like you out there, then there is a spot for you. This is also card 39 if numbers are relevant to anyone. I love a good number. In the booklet it says, you may think there's no room for you out there, but there is in fact one spot left and you are holding the only ticket. Accept who you are and stop comparing yourself to others. Being the best you is something that you can always work on. So like, in a community, we need a diverse group. We need people of all types. We need thinkers, doers, lovers, healers, enforcers. We need the people who will speak up for us at the restaurant and be like, hey, they actually asked for no cheese on that because they have hot girl tummy issues. We need you to remake that, please. And then you also need the person who is like, thank you so much for doing that. We really appreciate it. And you also need to make sure that you have the good tippers in your group, right? You need a diverse group of people in your community. And there's some role that you are so perfect to fill, okay? And not just like in a community, like a friend group, but in the world in general. There's something so specific to you, and that specificity comes from your journey, the life you have lived, the experiences that you have gained that give you such a specific insight into things. There will be situations where you see what everybody else is missing, and when you speak up, that will make all the difference, okay? So let's dig a little more. Okay, never mind. We're doing another one of these. Good Lord. Okay, I'm going to talk about this one. Okay, so I had made an appointment this morning to go donate platelets at one of our community blood centers. And I've done this a ton, plenty of times before. I know how the donation process is supposed to go. I know how it's supposed to feel. So, like, they got the needle in and everything, and things were going fine for like 4 to 5 returns. But then, like, I noticed it just felt off. It felt like there was more pressure on the returns, especially. Um, and then I started feeling a vibration where the needle was in, and I was like, that's not usual. That's not typical. But it turns out I basically had to just abandon the process, and I couldn't donate today. Probably won't be able to for the next 8 weeks because I didn't get the rinse back and all that. If you've ever donated platelets, you know, which is unfortunate because I do see blood donation as a very simple and easy way to benefit my community. I'm growing blood anyway. I might as well lend it to others, especially like I'm O positive, so I can donate platelets and they really like that. However, I kind of got this message from that about bleeding only where and how and when you are intended to. Because just thinking about the life force of blood, kind of this idea of like only inserting your energy where it should be, only going where you flow. Does that make sense? Okay, so what else needs to come out with this? Big Mixed Barrel of Emotion, card 63. To the book. I haven't seen that one before. You don't have to label what you're feeling, just be present with it. What is most important is not trying to escape or avoid your reality. So, okay, so we're hopping back into where we were in part 1 with like shadow work, going to therapy, processing out, you know, why things are the way they are up in your head bone, to come to a healthier environment mentally, emotionally, energetically, etc. Part of that is sitting with emotions and doing the hard work of just like feeling all of that crap. The King of Swords and the Nine of Swords. Like, it's terrifying, but it helps you, like, facing that fear of sitting with your authentic self, with your raw emotion. It helps you find power over your reactions. Because, like, okay, let's say you react poorly every time you hear car squealing, like brake squealing, when a car has to stop really hard. And you're like, why does that put me on so much edge? What is going on whenever I hear that? What is happening in my body? And kind of unpacking, and then eventually you may get back to like, oh, that's right, I was in a car wreck back in 3rd grade. Lore drop. You know, and okay, I remember that. I remember how that made me feel in my body at that time, and okay, so that's where this is stemming from. You're still going to have the reaction when you hear those brakes squealing. You're still going to tense up whenever, you know, embrace for impact when this is happening. However, you are now aware of that. You know where it stems from. You can tell your body, hi, I am physically safe. We are okay. It is okay. This is a very valid reaction because it's reminding me of something tragic and traumatic from my past. But we can work through this. We're here. And you know, you can like get into grounding exercises, right? So it doesn't erase what happened at all. It cannot erase what happened. It cannot erase your body's response to triggering stimuli moving forward. You may be able to eventually kind of like decrease that reaction over time, but you're aware of what's going on. And that empowers you to work with what is actively happening in the moment. To tell yourself, we are safe. Let's look and see what's going on around us. All right, around us, everything is fine. We are here in this present time. That's all I have time for. That's all right. Part 2. Part 3 will be whenever I feel moved to do so, I guess. Okay, bye.